Okay, so I think I've made a big mistake in doing a franchise review on Friday the 13th. So I'm gonna make up for that. So, in the continuation of my countdown to Halloween, I'm gonna, review each movie separately in separate videos. So, here is the first one. So, the premise of the first one is that, so a child drowned in the lake, and then not too long after, some counselors were murdered. So what is the connection there? And fast forward like a few decades later, counselors want to reopen the Camp Crystal Lake, and so it's like okay, like it's like why? I mean, like why? I mean, why would they even allow them to do that? I mean, like those cabins should have been torn down by like after it was shut down. Don't no reopening, just tear it all down, tear it all down, you know, and and also like and then like there's a lot of similarities to this. I mean, like this is like the first movie to really be by inspired by Halloween, like where it's a slasher, and the title of the movie is named after like like a holiday or like a day, and also like and the lead character Alice is very similar to Laurie Strode in like a lot of ways, but there is a moment in the movie where she willingly plays strip Monopoly with her friends, so I guess that that's where that makes her different from Laurie Strode in a way, but also and then like the funny and also another funny thing is that there's a crazy Ralph who warns these kids that they're doomed like if they stay there, and yet later on in the movie he's at Crystal Lake himself. I'm like, okay, if they're doomed, then why the hell would you even step foot in Crystal Lake if they're doomed? Why? If you're certain that they're not going to get out of there alive, then why the hell are you there? You really are crazy. And also, I like how it fades to white at times, like where someone's going to die, and then it fades to white. And like, well, that only happened a couple times, I think, but it's a pretty nice effect, even though it's totally racist. I mean, what's wrong with fading? I mean, what's wrong with fading to black? Huh? No, I'm kidding. It's very creative and it's very genuine. Now, no, like watching this movie, I'm thinking to myself, since I didn't watch all these movies in order, so I'm expecting to see Jason, like in this point, like where we're gonna see him, his mask's gonna be on, and everything like that, and then like even in the first half of the movie, where the killer picks up the hitchhiker, I'm like, since when did Jason know how to drive? And so when it all builds up to where we see that it is his mother who's killing people in this movie, I watched this at a real young age, and I was very disappointed because I did not watch all these in order. I was expecting it to be Jason. So when this happened, I'm like, I felt cheated. I felt so disappointed. I'm like, I'm liking this movie, and then when we revealed the killer, I'm like, where's Jason? Where is he? But yeah, if I had watched all of these movies in order, then I would have understood it better, and I would have, had a different. I would have reacted to it a lot differently than I did back then. Now that I'm older, I appreciate it, and so I mean, yeah, I mean, like that's what I get for not watching them in order. And then there's Mrs. Voorhees. The more I watch it, the more I question myself. Is she really the villain in this movie? I mean, like seriously. I mean, she even said herself that, like I can't let these people reopen, this place after what happened, and and let it happen, and let some other poor child, like end up, suffering the same fate as Jason. So in a way she's not so much as a serial killer, but she's more so like a very mentally disturbed grieving mother. And let's face it, a lot of you moms out there, let's say like you let your child go off to a camp and you find out that they drowned and the counselors were paying attention, you would have a psychotic break. You would go postal and you would probably murder every single counselor there and every single and anybody who tries to put effort into reopening the same camp that where your child died. You would be you would be Mrs. Voorhees like in that situation. So with that all being said, I guess you would find yourself rooting for Mrs. Voorhees in this story pretty much, even though Alice is not responsible for what happened. I mean, like, she's a part of the team who tried to reopen the camp, but she is, she's innocent overall. At least to me, she is. But yeah, I mean, like, you've seen it from Mrs. Voorhees' perspective. Like, she's not really that crazy, even though she is psycho. She is batshit crazy, but there is some. Like, she is sincere in her sanity, and her lack of sanity, I should say. But yeah, like, and another thing that I noticed, like, I guess Alice had a thing with, the main guy or the main counselor or the boss of, of them reopening the camp. It looks like, you get that sense there, but I guess it's really weird. Really weird. weird tension there. Oh. But, yeah, so with the ending, it leaves you thinking, like, did Alice really imagine Jason? Like, did he really pull her under the lake? Like, she kills Mrs. Voorhees and it's all hunky-dory and you hear happy music and there's a cop, on land, yelling out for her and he's like, oh, I'm safe. And then, boom, she gets snatched up and yanked into the lake. And then the next thing you know, she wakes up in the hospital bed screaming. And then she's asking the police, like, did they see the boy? And it's like, who? What? Huh? We didn't find any boy. And then he's still out there. And then it makes you think, did she really see Jason? Did she really get pulled under the lake, or was she imagining it? Or did she just have a nightmare about it? That just left that up in the air. That just left it up for the audience to decide. Did she really see Jason, or did she? And I know that they intended for this to be one movie, but they had to have known while writing this movie that they were going to beg for more. Like, we need to see what happens. We need to see what happens. Was Jason alive? I mean, Jason is alive. I mean, like, he is going to start killing people. I mean, like, where is he? I mean, you're just going to demand it and demand it and demand it. And you're going to wish that you didn't listen to the fans so much as you did. So, with that all being said, now that I'm older and now that I've rewatched the movie and this is the one who started the whole thing, I mean, I appreciate it for what it is, and it deserves 4 solid chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 solid chair spins. I think that was maybe 5, but no. 4 solid intentional chair spins. So anyway, yeah, so it would have been fine, by itself. I mean, my 8-year-old self or my 7-year-old self is going to think I'm crazy, like if I went back and told him that this, that I'm going to appreciate, this first movie. While he's over there being butthurt, like, why couldn't Jason be the killer? Wah, 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 wah. Now that I'm older, I understand why. That wasn't their intention. But, it just rolled out that way. Like that, after, the success of it, the first movie and everything like that. But I think I do think, to some degree, it is a bit scarier than Halloween. I mean, because you can see the deaths happening, and when it happens, it's just like really horrifying to watch. And not to mention Kevin Bacon's death. He possibly has the best death in the movie, or probably in the franchise for that matter, possibly. That's up for debate though. But I mean, yeah, it's just. It's just a crazy ride, and it makes you not want to go in the woods, just like Halloween makes you not want to babysit, like in trick or treat. So yeah, so there's Friday the 13th. So I plan to review part 2 of Friday the 13th, and as we count down to Halloween. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.